of faith says that God, show me how better I can be than I was before. Show me how I can do more for you than I have done before. The works of faith says that God, if you wake me up in the morning, I promise you I'm going to do my best to get up. And if I get up, I promise you I'm going to show up. And if I show out, believe me, I'm showing up to show out. Why? Because the God that we serve requires that faith and work go hand in hand. So what you have to know is that this James, who was the leader in Jerusalem, he understood that, you know what, I need God by faith to move. Why? Because people are fickle. There are people who really can't serve God unless they're going through something. Come on, preacher. What is that about us? That the more problems we have, the closer we try to reach God. But as soon as God gives us an easy street, then we simply do what our foreparents, Adam and Eve, did, walk away and go hide somewhere. We have to show God that if he blesses us, he's not taking a chance on losing us. Why? Because we have matured to know that come high times, low times, come mountains or valleys, we must find a place of being consistent, because the works of faith says that God, it is you and you only that I serve. It is you and you only that I trust. Why? Because we get caught up so often with the ones that sign our checks, that give us a checkup, the ones that we're dependent upon to guide us through some particular issue. It's not your boss nor your doctor that you must give homage to. It is God who controls all things. Because at the end of the day, only what we do for Christ will last. Having said that, the works of faith in this series is that, what is it that you believe in God for? Or what is it that you're afraid to believe God for? Afraid? Yeah. See, we serve a big God. Why aren't your dreams big? We serve a big God. Why aren't you asking for what seems to be the impossible? See, too many of us have, I believe in for a quarter, but a challenge for $5. What am I saying? We have to know that there's nothing too small for God. And there's certainly nothing too big for him. So how do we take the message? Putting works in faith and how they relate is that you have to know that trusting God is the best and only solution we have. Even when it seems like there are other options. The bottom line is that our works of faith must be, God, you direct me and I will follow. God, you point the way and I will go. God, you give me the words to say and I will speak them. You give me the ability to shut my mouth and I will hear what you're saying. You direct me, Father, because depending on your age, you know, you've done it on your own enough to know the conclusion. All right. You don't really need no more research on what it means to disobey God, do you? We don't need no more research on what it means to disobey God or do things our way. The bottom line is that let's flip the script. And God, help me to follow you. Help me to know it is you that's leading me. Help me to know that the challenges that are coming my way is because without you bringing the challenge, I would never take the challenge. I would never take the opportunity. I would never leave my comfort zone. Because we are all creatures of habit, y'all. We always do whatever it is we put first. That's just us. And guess what? God's not surprised. We are the ones that sometimes are shocked when we fail. But God said, no, I'm not surprised. There are many things I am. But surprised about you ain't one of them. That ain't what that is. But the reality of it is that how do we get on track? By putting our faith to work. It's when you know that God has a purpose for your life. It's when you know that he has given you a reason and rhyme and a gift to use for him. And for you to now spend your remaining hours and days to pursuing what God would have you to do. It's called purpose.
Yes, sir.
When you realize that you have a purpose, then you talking about getting up in the morning with excitement. It's when you don't know that you have a purpose, that you drag through life, taking different turns and twists, not realizing that God said, as soon as you realize you're a spoon, we're gonna do the soup thing. But as long as you think you calling yourself a fork makes you a fork, you're gonna struggle with soup. Elementary, but that's exactly what the human condition is. Let us be who God created us to be.
Yeah.
Let us be and do what God created us for. And watch how easy your life becomes when you realize purpose and God's plan is the only thing that really matters.
Yeah.
You will find that this life is not so hard and truly is worth the living when you know that for God I live and for Him I die. It takes the pressure off of breathing, y'all. When you know that God, you're the reason why I breathe. I'll breathe as long as you give me air. I will succeed as long as you give me success. And I will be able to overcome as long as you give me the strength. On the day when we don't think we can, just know that when you don't know God's hand, you can always trust His heart. And His heart is for us.
Yes.
And bottom line, and I'm done. The works of faith, this time I am. I get about 3 or 4 of them done. My wife laughed, no you're not. But anyway, just know that there's no way God would allow Jesus to go through what He went through to let you down.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. Yes,
He would not have exacted the punishment that Jesus went through for us to let you down.
That's right.
He says that just know there's no way in the world I will allow the suffering of Christ that was real to not be defeated by the victory of His rising from the dead. And the victory that conquered all of that is the victory that we hold on to.
Yeah.
The reason why we can't stop calling His name is because we realize that when I call on Jesus, when I call upon the Lord, He hears me.
Yes.
When I call upon Him in my downtime, He comes to me. And when I cry to Him, even in the midst of celebration, I know who to give the honor to. And God says that as long as you understand that without me, you can do nothing. And once you graduate that course, everything falls in line because then God can trust us with success. I can't afford, God says, I can't afford Lovely to give you, y'all, success if it's going to mean me losing you. I can't afford to have you blessed if it means that you no longer have time for me. I bless you with a new car. Now you think Sunday is the best day to wash it. I bless you with a nice house, and now you can't come to Bible study because you got a vacuum on Wednesday. You see, I can't bless you with that promotion because now all of your travels seem to be just when we're doing a special thing at the church. And now all of a sudden, your tithe and your offering don't make it to church because you don't. God said, I watch and I keep great notes. You might fool the men and women, but believe me, I take excellent notes. And your faith in me is a lot of times expressed in how much you commit to me. But you believe me for your soul. But you can't trust me with your wallet. Really? You believe me to carry you through, but your purse you got on lock under your arm. And don't know this, y'all. It's not about that. It's about money. You don't hear me preaching money here. You know why? Because you know when you come in that there's nothing free in this world. You know when you come in that them people at the electric bill company, peoples, all them. You can't just tell them, hey, listen now, we're a new hope. We worship God. We pray, I can put some on it. I can put some on it. How many times they gonna let you put something on it, buddy? The bottom line is this, is that let's be better than we were.
Amen.
And you could use the challenge. Believe me, you could use the makeover. You could use it, meaning what? For all of us. It's that when we know that I've challenged myself, and the brain rewards challenges. Do you know? I'm done. Do you know that many times what is called gray matter in our minds, it is only developed when we submit challenges to our mind, remembering, counting, activity of the brain. Nurses will tell you that these kind of things is that whereby we keep the functioning of the mind on lock. That's why God has found that by me giving you challenges that are uncomfortable for you, it requires you to now exercise this thing called energy, this thing called a force. Because, as I often share here, many people think that when you sleep, you can gain energy.
Come on, Pastor.
I am so tired. I'm going to sleep. Sleep can give you rest. Energy only comes through exercise.
Yes, sir.
It is through action and movement. You don't have to call it Jack LaLanne, call it walking. Call it raising your arm. But the body, all it knows is activity. And when you give the body activity, you build like a generator. So the generator in motion is what produces.
That's right. Give me that
That's
juice.
it. That's it.
A body in motion is like a generator. It produces strength. So you want to know why 13 hours of sleep and you still tired? You need to know that you must exercise the body, called motion, walking, lifting, bending, whatever it is that produces activity, and the body turns activity into strength. But our faith can only be judged and watched and accounted for when we put our faith into action.
Amen.
Trust God for all things. Then work as though all things depend on you.
That's right.
You will find that because you put your name on that application, now he can show you favor. See, God can provide fish in the middle of a desert.
All right.
But I suggest to you, if you just get around some water, your whole faith glow just opens up. Now you can pray for fish in the desert. But we know he'll do it. We know he'll take 2 fish and 5 loaves and feed 5,000 plus. So you can have the faith to believe God in the desert for fish if you want it. But I suggest if you get around a body of water, you will be surprised how much clearer your apprehension is. That faith is, I believe God for the fish. Work is, I'm going to get around a body of water.
All right.
Amen?
Amen.
God bless you. God keep you. If you are here today and you've never asked Jesus Christ into your heart, I want you to know that you are the most important person in the room. In that, you are the reason Christ Jesus came. So with that being said, if you've never asked Jesus to come into your heart, the prayer for salvation is this. And with heads bowed, eyes closed, pray this prayer after me. Father God, in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ, I come to you just as I am. I ask you to save me. I know that I am a sinner because I think wrong and often do wrong. I know that I am not what I should be, but I come to you this hour to confess that I believe that Jesus Christ is your Son. I believe that Jesus died for my sin and that his blood can make me whole. I confess with my mouth and receive and believe in my heart that Jesus Christ is your Son. And I know that as he died, he rose again.